Welcome back to another episode of Kotlin Bootcamp for programmers. In this episode, I'm going to teach you about the scope function, specifically the run scope function. So let's see what is the run scope function. As I talked as I teach you previously, the let scope function. In this episode, I'm going to teach you the run scope function. Let is like run, or run is like let. Run is another scope function from the standard library. So basically what it does, it is the same that let scope function does. It executes the blocks of code and in return set as result. The only difference is that inside run the object is accessed by this keyword, and this is useful when you want to call the object's method rather than pass it as an argument. Let's see an example. For example, I have a variable called non-string or ns, and it is a type of nullable string, and I store the null here. And now I want to print for, and I want to print itself the string. Here I'm storing the uppercase of this string, and beside I'm getting the result of uppercase, and I'm printing here print is empty. I want to check this dot is empty. Now as I told that here you can see this, it is specifying as a string. It means this string we can use as a this here. Anything is highlighted here, we can use that keyword here to access the object or access the methods of that keyword. Here as you see highlighted this, it means I can use this keyword to access the object of this ns keyword. Now after ns we have also a question mark. It will run like red. It will execute this function like let. First it will check if it is a null, then it will not go through these codes. If it is not null, it will execute these codes. Now it is null, first it will come and check it is null, so it will not execute this code, and we will get uppercase as a null. Now suppose it is not null, first it will come and check if it is empty. Now I don't need to use for example this string ns.isEmpty, something else like that. I can remove this I can use that is empty directly without accessing this ns. This means is empty is accessing like this. We have ns dot is empty. I can use that is empty like this. Now as it is the question mark here, it means it's a nullable. I have to check if it is a null or not like this. And now this is the same thing here. I'm checking is empty or not. This length is also, we can access that ns dot question mark dot length. I can access the length here like that. And again I want to send to uppercase of this ns to uppercase. I want to store that. I can store val uppercase of that, or I can keep it as a 1 is equal to ns. I have to do a question mark, and after question mark I have to change to uppercase like this. I means I have used three function for this ns. Now I don't want to do all of these outside the this ns, because sometimes we assume this is not part of this ns, or this is not part of our code. Our code will be get some not good in reading. So I can remove this, and basically I can use that ns.run, and I can do this part of code. I can check this part of code, and I can return a result. Keep remember, it will return a result. It will not return itself the object. Keep remember that the run scope function will return as an the result of our expression, not the object itself. And we will see some of our other scope function will return the object itself, but the run will return the result. Keep remember, it will return the result of expression to our object. As you see, it is to uppercase, it is the result of our expression. It will restore to ns, and this ns again will restore to uppercase. Now I can print the uppercase, or I can change that to like to lowercase here, to lowercase. I can find to lowercase here. I can change that to lowercase. So I can do some I can add one question mark because I want to check if it is not null. Do to lowercase. Now I don't need that, so let's get nullable length, or we can say run example. Run example, it is just a name of a function that I want to call this function. It's just a name of function that I want to call this. Why I'm getting error? Just I want to change run example like this. Sorry, run example. I think I have to run example one here and one where we have run example. There is an ambiguity. We don't have a run example. Or let's keep as it is for now. I think I have a run example somewhere else. I want to call that function inside our class to see what is the output here. I want to remove these spaces here. As you see, for null, and it will print as for null. If I use a string, for example a main encoder here, now as you see here, first it will come here for a main encoder, it will print, and then it will check here. If it is not null, it will print these codes, and then if it is null, it will not print. As you see, for now, for a main encoder, it's printing this line, and now it checks if it is not null. This question mark will check if it is not null. Do this part of code is empty, it will check is empty. I means the purpose of this, run here is we can use the object of we can use the classes, or can use the member function of this string without accessing its name. We can access it directly, and at the end we can return the result of our expression. We can store that in our value that as we stored here, and we can see the length of this string. I'm here, the length is printing, and to uppercase, the end to uppercase. So I change this ns, or this our string, to the uppercase and store to uppercase. Now I printed uppercase here. Now let's see one more example here. I have a multi-port services. This is a bit like a real world example that I want to show for you. For example, I have a multi-port services that will get the data from the backend server or the live server, and this multi-port service has two arguments, one URL and the second one is port. By default it is 80. Now I have to make this multi-port service class multi-port service. The first one is like a var. Let's keep it as a URL, and it will be a string, and by default it has a URL. Let's keep it URL, and the second one has var, and it will be port, and integer, it has integer type, and let's make by default as a 40. The port is 40. This is our multi-port service methods that we have, and now this multi-port class has two functions, prepare request, and let's make for now only one function. It is like prepare request, prepare function. I want to add one function prepare request, And now this prepare request function will return for us the URL. Will return for us the URL and just only return the URL. Okay, and now we will have one more function query. Function query. If you use query, it means that will send a query to get the data from our databases. This query will get a query for us. This query means it will get a query. What is the query like? It will get a string query, anything like I can name it like var query. It will get a string, and for now just I want to print the query. Println query. Now I want to remove this var here. It takes only one query here. So let's back to example. We have the services. We created our service, and now I want to get the result on some ports that I want to check. I want to get the result. I want to do service.run. Run, it means run this service with this specific port and do a query or use the query. Here I use the query, and query this prepare the request. Prepare the request will get us the URL to the port, this one port. Now this is the query that will print as the query. Now I wanna print the result. If I print the result right now, what we will get? Let's check and print our result. Println, and I wanna print just result. Let's run the program and let's the output. I wanna remove this one. So first one, before this I'm getting this URL to port this one. I just printed the query. Or let's do some other let function. Same thing I wanna do with let function. What is difference between them? I wanna remove this, or I can keep it. It has no issue with that. Now if I use the let function here, services.let, here I services.run, it is use the it, multi-services it, the context object is it. Here the context object is this, so I can use this. It is itself the services, it is sending the services and a context object, and here it is sending the service to the context or as a lambda parameter. Here is a lambda parameter, I can use it. Here is a lambda object. Here as you see I'm using the port of this one port directly. I'm using the query directly. I'm using the prepare request directly. But and it is sending is the argument, lambda argument. We cannot send object itself. Here I have to send this argument dot port and it dot prepare request, it dot query. I am not able to use those lambda or those queries or prepare request, these methods directly. I means let is same thing as a run, but run also return object, run also return a last expression, and let also return the result of last expression. Keep in mind, run and let return the result of last expression, but run, the context object of run or is this, it means receiver this, the context object of run is receiver this, and the context object of let is receiver it. That is it for this difference between them. Now this is for this video, and see you soon on next video.